All right, now I'm going to show you how to open a lighting scene. Click on context, light shot, go to the sequence and the shot that you're going to be working in, press OK. Here it will show you any previous versions if there are any. If not, you can click empty scene, hit create. Since this is a previous scene, just click open and this will open up your lighting scene for you. To import assets into a new scene, click on import shot assets. Here it will open up the import assets menu. It will show you what work step you're in, lighting, the sequence you're in, and the shot you're in. On the left here, this is the asset types. You can see there's Alembic caches, so character exports that you can see, or publish animation that you can see. There's also cameras. You see there's 2 cameras listed here. You can import multiple at once. So if we click on camera, you can highlight both these and hit import, and that will import both. For now, let's just import a character. So select Alembic cache, click on body. You can import as reference or do a direct import. Usually, obviously, reference is the best bet. Hit import. Now you can see this has imported the character in with the animation attached. To import a camera, same thing, import, shot assets, select camera, select the camera that you want to import, hit import, and there it is on the left. The pipeline will know if there are new assets to import have been updated. So if you go context, open the shot that you've been working on, light shot, open the shot up. Once this is opened, it's going to show which assets need updating. So it's telling me that there's a new camera been published, and it's telling me that there's been new character animation. If I hit update, this will just update both of those to the latest versions. Okay, once you've got your scene ready to go and you want to render it out, what you'll need to do is go to rendering, go to render interface. Wait for this to load up. Here you'll see the render layers that you've got. Now these work in the same way that the render layer works. So you have your default render layer, which is your master render layer. You have your different render layers, which we've got here. And you have the eyes, so you can switch to which render layer you're using, which you can see the cube change. Switch to different render layers. You can also pick which render layers you want to submit to deadline. So clicking these, turn them on and off, just the same as here. As you can see, they mirror each other. So turn that one off, turn that one off. Yep. Next, you have pools. So if you are submitting a software job and a Redshift job or a different renderer engine, you can set them here. So we can set the render pool that we've got to submit through deadline. Just be aware, you currently, if you submit a Redshift render with AOVs and a software render at the same time, or a different render layer at the same time, it will break. If you do need to submit these as separate renders. So tick one on first, render it out, then tick the next one on, render it out. Otherwise, they will break. So the next thing you need to do is you need to check your camera, make sure that the camera is selected correctly or is listed in the render settings correctly. Here you can tick on different AOVs if you want to. So if I go into this one, I should be able to tick off these AOVs and then go back into this one, and you can see that that overrides, turns them on and off. Okay. You can save these if you want to save a template. Don't need to. Here you also see it's in animate. So we obviously want to render a frame range. Your frame range should be set from the camera. If it's not, you can set it here. You can also check this, or you can override it and change it. And you can check this to type in like 1001 if you need to render specific frames, as it says. Here you can change the resolution as well if you need to. And then you can save all this out as a preset to the scene, to a job, or to the whole Nexus pipeline. Next is your deadline settings on the right. You can pick your pools if you haven't picked it here. You can do dependencies, all the usual stuff that you do with deadline. The thing that you do need to do now is, if it's the first time you're rendering something, just hit new render. What it will do is on the right hand side, it lists which render version you're going to submit if you hit new render. Every time you hit this, it's going to basically increment your render that you're doing. If you need to re-render, as the button says here, you can actually pick a specific version. So you can either just use these arrows to up and down. Notice that it won't let me go, this is currently on 5, it won't let me go above because currently there's only version 5. If I hit new render, it will do version 6. You can type in a number in here if you need to as well. And that's all you need to do. So if I hit this one, just pick Redshift, for example, and I hit new render, that is just going to render out this render layer as a new render. And then it will pop up saying you have submitted one task successful for rendering. You can check your deadline and it will pop up in deadline as it is here. Test shot, I have your render, plus it will also have an auto-generated QuickTime preview that will just run through and just batch this out for you.